Gatsby? What Gatsby?
I beg your pardon. Mr. Gatsby would like to speak to you. Alone.
The Great Gatsby, which is fantastic, man.
Thank you, buddy.
This is some
Thank you.
Terrific, sophisticated, crazy stuff. And there are a lot of levels and a lot of themes. Which one stuck most with you?
Well, you know, reading this novel as a 15-year-old and picking it up again as a 36-year-old, it was fascinating to see the sort of different connection that I had with Jay Gatsby and the story. It's really, you know, one of America's great novels for a reason. People have been talking about this book for almost 100 years now, and it's almost what's left unsaid about the novel that makes it most powerful. But you know, this idea of this man that creates this image of Jay Gatsby sheerly from his own imagination, a man that comes from nothing and becomes this, you know, iconic figure in New York City just to win the love of this woman is something that everyone really identifies with. And everyone has their own connection with Gatsby and all these characters. And that's the great challenge about making a movie about the subject matter. You have to get specific.
You worked with a lot of great directors in the past, but what specifically sticks out about working with Baz?
Baz is a bit of a Gatsby too in his own right, you know. He's a man that has envisioned his life a certain way and created that life. But he is one of the most exhilarating, he's infectious in his excitement about creating art. And when you get in a room with him, it's almost like you can't say no. You're mesmerized by his enthusiasm.
Was all this made entirely from your own imagination?
No. You see, you were there all along. And every idea, every decision. Of course, if anything is not to your liking, I'll change it.
It's perfect. From your perfect, irresistible imagination.
Talk about this marriage between hip-hop and Hollywood and the whole Jay-Z connection and what it means to you.
Well, I think it was in the effort to connect with audiences today, and that's what Baz has done a lot in taking on, you know, great pieces of literature like Romeo and Juliet or The Great Gatsby. He wants to give people a modern context for what jazz was during that era. And jazz was this new sort of fusion of music that was bubbling up from the underground that everyone was listening to. And, you know, the idea of working with Jay-Z and infusing hip-hop into this movie was a brilliant choice on Baz's part because it really represented what the musical style was at that time and what was going on in the streets in New York City.
Quickly cite either your all-time favorite novel and why, or something that you're reading right now and why you're reading it.
Right now I'm reading The Last Hours of Ancient Sunlight. It's about climate change and a bunch of scripts, a bunch of boring scripts that we're not going to mention.
Well, of course you're not going to mention them if they're boring, but the book is on climate change?
Yeah, it's about climate change.
So you're still fighting a good fight?
Still doing a lot of work in that area, yeah. That's what I'm going to be doing on my time off now. Not a lot of time off, but the time off that I'm going to have.
All right, well, I got to salute you. Congratulations.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a lot, my man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yellow cars, yellow gold like slick brick. Still tip off, right like Mark Twain. Jay Gatsby, I park things. Dollars fall on the skin. Some might call us in. Politicians all move for money. What the hell are we calling them?
Who is this Gatsby?
Gatsby?
$100 bill, real.
Rated PG-13.